Well, she inspired me, first of all, by agreeing to marry me. Because at that point, I was a not particularly well-off high school teacher in Illinois. And I discovered that she was a very special person, even though she was the secretary of the principal of the school. And was a very firm, stiff New Englander. And I figured I maybe with some help can melt a little bit of that. Well, it was an exceedingly busy life. Early on, our 4 children were also involved, since we seem to do as much as we can as a family. They're all gone now, 2 out of 4 into higher education, we are happy to note. But what we were trying to do is to create a new university built on the solid rock of the past. Well, as soon as the kids were able to stand on their own feet, so to speak, she began getting involved in things related to the university, such as graduate programs, and particularly the programs in psychology, in which she in due course became enrolled. And the awards that we are proud to be offering are related to what she was able to do, working mostly with other women in the greater Charlotte community who were finding time and resources to make it happen for their lives and in the future. She was has always been interested in serious music. Both in Buffalo before we moved here, and then in Charlotte, she was active in music groups aimed at young children. I knew that she had received a scholarship from an individual person, by the way, to study music at the International Festival in Paris, which was actually defined as an academic scholarship. And she was utterly delighted, because once you go to Paris, it's hard to leave. And it was a serious work, and she developed lifelong, which turned out to be rather short, relationships in the world of classical music with emphasis on Paris. Well, I was wearing 2 hats, and my hat as a chancellor recognized that it was time to put a name on a building, which had been a while in the coming. We practically swore our kids to silence, that they would not say anything about it. They came from several places where they lived and worked and were here, and they came into the room where everybody was gathering for the ceremony to dedicate the E.K. Fretwell building. And I tipped off the photographer, be sure to get a shot of her at the moment of maximum surprise. So when the time came, Mr. Robinson got up and said, "Today, we are not going to name this the E.K. Fretwell building." And there was an audible, "Huh?" that went through the crowd. And he said, "We are going to name this to the E.K. Fretwell and Dorrie building." Or actually turn it around, you put Dorrie first, Dorrie and E.K. Fretwell. And she was looking like this. We were all simply delighted, and the kids thought it was a real riot. Our kids, and maybe some other kids too. Well, Dorrie and I were aware of the fact that we had been people who got lucky to get stuff, beneficiaries of the existing endowments of a good many organizations, are the churches that we have belonged to in different communities, the institutions that we have gone to, which happen to be heavily private institutions, in each case special scholarship money, because people thought that we would spend it well, and we think we did. Well, of course, wealth happens, or doesn't happen, as the case may be. But if you can give, the word is do, and it does not have to be millions of dollars, but it can be $1 here and $1 there. That's part of our view of why we believe in philanthropy. We try to do things for our kids and other people's kids, many of whom we don't know, from those funds that we have available. The Dorrie Fretwell Award is aimed particularly at women who have a bachelor's degree already, who are studying in psychology and are being pressed by, both in time and money, to have opportunity to do what they want to do. I think you can see how extra help there could make a whole lot of difference. And we think it already has, and on the basis of what's happened to the women who have received the award already during its first year.